kitchen making breakfast. I'm going to throw these biscuits that we made together the other day that I put in the freezer. I'm going to throw them in the oven. Then over here, I've got some vegetable oil heating up. I'm going to throw in some hash browns. We've got our hash browns on over here. We're just going to let them sit there, start getting brown, and get the rest of the stuff together. I don't have enough sausage balls for all of us to have for breakfast, so I'm going to build from these. That's why we're doing the biscuits and the hash browns. And I'm going to scramble up some eggs over there just so we can have these, finish these off, and all of us can have plenty of food. And here's our breakfast for this morning. Scrambled eggs, sausage balls, homemade biscuits, and hash browns with peppers and onions. Let's go eat breakfast, y'all. Y'all think my sourdough's good? What do you think? Think it's telling me it's time to make bread? I do. I think it's screaming it. Oopsie. So, new development. Should have known. I was sitting in the living room on the couch, and all of a sudden I heard thump. Y'all, a sourdough lid popped off. And now it is everywhere. So now I'm going to pour it into this bigger container. Y'all, I've got a mess. It's up underneath my cabinet. Like, it exploded. It honestly exploded. Yeah. I've got a mess. Oh, look how pretty that sourdough is. And I'm going to grab me another lid to go on here. I just use coffee filters for my lids. Put that over there. See if I can get the rubber band off of this one. And there we go. Good as new. Good as new. Now that's got a new home. So now I've got to clean it. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I am not playing. Let me show you what's happened. Do you see the white patch right there? I don't know if you can see it or not. Can you see that? That's sourdough. That's sourdough. So, yay, I've got to clean that too. I'll learn to pay attention one of these days. We're going to go ahead and make our spice blend for our chicken enchilada soup. First, I'm going to turn my eye down over here. About to boil over. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and make our spice bowl for this chicken enchilada soup and have that ready to go. Very simple. We are going to need, let me find everything. We need a half teaspoon of chili powder, half teaspoon mustard powder, half teaspoon garlic powder, half teaspoon onion powder, quarter teaspoon cumin, a pinch of cinnamon, a pinch of cayenne pepper. We're going to mix this together. And we're just going to have it ready. We're going to set it aside for the moment. And we're just going to have it ready when we are ready to put this soup together. It's time to cook supper, y'all. So let's get this started. I'm going to turn my stove on about medium or so. And I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of butter and about 1 tablespoon of olive oil in my pot. It comes out very slow for whatever reason. And then I'm going to add what's left in this bag of onions that I've already diced up and had in the freezer. I'm going to go ahead and add that because the recipe calls for 1 small, let's see, yeah, 1 small onion diced. I'm just going to go ahead and add that. That looks good to me. The recipe calls for a diced jalapeno. I'm going to leave that out. Aiden's going to be eating this, and it's already got the rotel and stuff like that in it, and a little bit of cayenne, so I don't want to add any more peppers to that. So I'm going to leave the jalapeno out. I am going to get a little more, I'm going to get some red onion to put in here. So I added just a little bit of red onion. I already had it diced up and in the freezer too, just to make sure I had plenty of onion in it. Paps likes onions, so don't want to leave that out. So we're just going to let this cook up for just a few minutes, just 2 or 3 minutes. Our garlic is smelling delicious. So now we're going to add 10 ounces of red enchilada sauce. I only have a 19-ounce can, so I'm going to put about half, maybe a little more. We like enchilada sauce. So there's our enchilada sauce. We're going to do a 10-ounce can of rotel. I've got the Walmart brand. And that is supposed to be undrained, which I did not drain it. I did good. A can of black beans drained and rinsed, and a can of whole kernel corn drained. So we're going to put both of those in there. Oh my, this smells good already. The recipe also calls for a teaspoon of hot sauce. That's optional. I'm not adding that because, again, I don't want this to be too spicy to where Aiden can't eat it. We're going to do 4 cups of chicken broth, 1 large chicken breast or 2 small, and the recipe says that you can cook the chicken in your soup, but y'all, I went ahead and cooked mine and then shredded it up. Now we're just going to add it into the soup as it is. Save a little bit of time tonight. So there's that. And then we're going to stir this around. Now we're going to take our seasoning mix that we made up earlier, and we're going to put it in. Now we're just going to let this sit here, simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. Let all those flavors come together. do their thing, and then we'll move on to the next step. There's more ingredients coming up. Alright, y'all, this smells so good. Oh my goodness, I am not even joking. So now, we're going to move on to the next part. I've got 4 ounces of cream cheese that I have just let come up to room temperature. We're going to get that put in. We're just going to stir that in, let it combine. Oh, this is going to be so good. I can already tell. It just is. We'll turn it down just a little bit. Oh my goodness. The recipe calls for 1 cup of cheddar cheese and a ½ cup of Monterey Jack. Y'all, I have Colby Jack, and that's what we're going to use. Since I don't have the other. We love Colby Jack. And that's what I stock the most of. Empty that bag out into there. Then I'm going to open this bag over here, and I'm going to use a little bit out of it. Just a little bit. There we go. Now we're just going to stir that in, let it melt, and then let this sit here and simmer for about another 5 minutes. And then y'all, it's time to eat. So before I call this done, I want to do a taste test to check the seasonings on this. So I'm going to get just a little bit, make sure I get some of the broth. Be sure to cool it off. Mercy. You can definitely get a hint of that cinnamon in there, and that just adds a huge pop of flavor. Huge. And it is so good. So good. And it is a little bit spicy, and I'm glad I didn't add the jalapeno or the hot sauce. I'm glad I didn't. Aiden wouldn't be able to eat it because it does have a good spice to it. Got a little kick to it. All right. So we're just going to let that sit there and simmer for just a couple more minutes. It's done. And then I'm going to bowl it up. There's our bowl of chicken enchilada soup. I added a little extra cheese to the top of mine. And you could add crackers, you could add tortilla chips, tortilla strips, or Fritos, sour cream. All the things would be good. But y'all, this is really good just by itself. Let's go eat supper. Alright y'all, it's the end of the day. I'm going to sit down. Hopefully it'll stay quiet for a few minutes anyway so that we can chat. You never know around here, okay? And by the way, that chicken enchilada soup was amazing. I would change a couple of things next time I make it. Aiden loved it. Like, he ate every bit of it and loved it. So I wouldn't change the fact that I didn't add the spiciness to it. I would add probably another can of black beans and another can of corn next time. We like our soup a little more beefed up, I guess you could call it. Just a little thicker, not as soupy. But other than that, I think that's about the only thing I would change about it. Like, that was awesome. Totally awesome. So, yeah, I'm tickled pink with that. This coming week, we start getting ready for Thanksgiving and doing all the things. It's going to be another busy week here on the homestead. Seems like every week is, but you know, that's the way it is. So the new sale papers for our stores come out on Wednesdays. So since my week starts on Thursday, that's perfect for me. That works out amazingly, okay? So I've got my list. I know what I'm looking for. And I open my apps. I use the grocery store apps. I have the discount cards or the special customer card or whatever you want to call it for every store. And because that's money off. And I always check the online coupons and make sure that those are loaded to my card before I head out the door. But I always open my app, go straight to the sale paper, and see what each and every individual store has on sale for that week. And I look at my list, I know what I'm looking for, and I make notations out from each item that I have on my list, where I found it, how much it is, and then that way I know where I'm going when I leave this house to go to the grocery store on a Thursday. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm getting. I kind of have to put my blinders on when I go into a store because I am one of those that's like squirrel and everything looks good to me. I don't go in a store hungry. I've learned that lesson the hard way many a times. But yeah, I have to put my blinders on. I have to remember that I am there for certain things only. And of course, Aiden's walking with me, or he's riding inside the buggy. Do you call them buggies or do you call them carts? Because I call it a buggy. But either way, and he's wanting stuff. He's seeing stuff. He's wanting stuff. He's 6, you know. And I'm trying to work with him to get him to understand we're here for specific things. We just need to pick up a couple of things, and we're not getting a bunch of junk. And he is learning that Nanny's treats are a lot better than what we can get in the store. Okay? And he will tell you, my nanny makes that. And it's really good. So, anyway, I make sure that I am perfectly planned. If I find something in the sale paper on the app that I'm going to go pick up at a particular store, I always go to the coupon section of the app, and I always make sure that I have that coupon added to my card before I shut that app out. Always, always, always. And if there's something in particular that I have on my list that doesn't show up on any of the sale papers, then I go through and I search for it on each app. And it'll pull that product up. It'll show me the price of it. And I can find from there which store has it cheaper. And then I know that's where I'm getting that from. I take no chances. I am not out running around to 5 or 6 different stores trying to find the best value and going here, there, and everywhere. I know before I leave my house what I'm going for, how much I'm going to spend, and where I'm going to get the biggest bang for my buck on every item on my list. Now, if I'm stocking my pantry back up, I have my list. I know what I'm looking for, what I'm needing to fill in the holes or to add to my pantries or add to my freezers or whatever. And sometimes you just happen to run up on some of those on sale or on clearance. Like the stores have clearance sales on meats. Let's take meats for instance. They don't advertise those. Okay? They don't advertise their clearance sales. And if you happen to come up on some of them, then consider yourself lucky because everybody else is looking for the clearance sales too. Groceries are expensive, just saying. But if I am stocking my freezers and I come up on clearance meats and they're marked down to a good price, and I know that I've got X amount because I keep my inventory, I've got X amount of hamburger meat in my freezer, I need more, it's right there in front of me, it's marked down to less than half the original price, I'm grabbing that. I'm grabbing it. And I am going to bring it home. I am going to take it out of the original packaging and I am going to put it into my vacuum seal bags and then into a freezer bag or vice versa. And I'm going to put that in my freezer. I'm going to put what it is and the date that I got it. So that way I know that this just came in and I need to use it last. I need to put it at the bottom of the freezer so that I can do the first in, first out theory, and we're all good. I'm not going to miss that. So are y'all getting the general theme of things here? You have to have willpower. You have to be excited to do this. You have to go into a store, like I said, with your blinders on. You know what you're going in for. Don't let all the sparkly, shiny stuff on the shelves entice you and get you to spend more money than what you intended to spend when you first walked in there. Don't let the newest of the new items sitting there say, hey, try me, try me. No, you've got to show your willpower. You've got to be restrictive on yourself in order to make this work. Okay? And I know that better than anybody else. Y'all saw my very first grocery haul during all this. I mean, I saw a good deal and I went for it. Do I regret it? No, I do not. Would I do it again? Yup, I would. Because I'm going to get things on my pantry shelves. I'm going to get treats and stuff made with all that. I needed it. I was going to have to get it anyway. Why not get it at a severely reduced price? It just makes sense. So do your research. Go through every app. It is a little time consuming to go through all the apps. Go through all your apps. Check the sale papers. Make sure you have the coupons either downloaded or added to your card, your customer card for that store. And make sure you have a game plan before you ever leave your house. Okay? You know what that product is going to cost you. You've got it all written down. You know what you're going to spend. You know what you have to spend. Make sure you are ready to go before you ever go get in your vehicle to leave your house. That's the number one rule. Number one. Otherwise, if you walk in, you don't have a meal plan, you don't have a good idea on what it is that you need, what you already have at home, what you actually need from the store, then that's where I know for me, that's where I got in a lot of trouble. I would go through and I would make meals up as I was walking through, and I would get home and be like, what did I get to cook? Or, well, crap. I got this for a meal, but I didn't get this to go with it, and I need that in order to make this. That was a big, and I'd wind up having to go back to the store, and Yeah, it's a vicious cycle on that. So I do not recommend that at all. Have a plan, have things set up, have things to where it's easy and you can get in and get out of the store quickly. And then that way, all the bright, shiny things that are just standing there, buy me, buy me, buy me, they don't have time to activate. So that's the way I get my shopping list together. That's how I use my store apps to the utmost. Like I get the most out of them. That is how I prepare to go grocery shopping. Whether I'm on a $25 a week budget, whether I'm on a $100 a week budget, it doesn't matter. That's how I do it every single week, even in restocking. Even if I'm not doing a pantry freezer challenge, that's how I do it every single week to make sure that I am in sync with what my bank account says. This is what you got to spend. No surprises when I check out, none at all. I know what I'm spending, I know what I have to spend, and I am not embarrassed when I get to the checkout line and they tell me that, I've overspent by $100, $200. I don't pass out right there in front of them because sticker shock. So that's how I do things. There's so much I want to tell you guys, but I don't want to overwhelm somebody that's new to all this. I don't want to bore anybody to tears with all of this. And I don't want to keep making the longer videos, which I know they're going to be longer because I'm adding in, meals and things like that. So, I'm trying to give the best information in short little bursts because sometimes that works better for me to hear. If I'm listening to somebody explain something to me, sometimes short little bursts is absolutely hands down best for me. So that's what I'm trying to do here, and I hope that I'm coming across very clear. And if I'm not, please just leave me a comment below and let me know, hey, I would like more information on this, I would like more information on that. Ask me questions. I am more than happy to explain anything. If you old pros at this feel like I'm leaving something out, then please jump in there with the information and help a girl out, because again, I'm human. I may leave something out. I don't intend to, but I might. Okay, I am running around with trying to keep up with a 6-year-old all day every day, and sometimes my mind, my brain is scrambled by this time of the day. So I think I'm going to end the video here. And I just want to say thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Thank y'all for supporting our little channel. Y'all, I'm having a ton of fun doing this challenge so far. It's fun to me. It really is. May not be to anybody else. It may be like biting nails and stuff. But to me, it's fun. And I'm enjoying it. And I'm enjoying sharing it with y'all. Some of the questions and some of the comments that I've gotten already, it's fun. It is. I love it. So, much love to each and every one of y'all. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.